Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Vavatu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, today is just an informal introduction to the process, to the retreat. Tomorrow retreat starts in right earnest. I'm not saying I'm going to waste time today, but and it was nice that we all got a nice welcome with Vedic Upanishadic chantings. Chantings are, people nowadays don't know chanting, and some of them chant but read like, not like a chanting, but like. And unfortunate thing is many people don't know what is being chanted, what is being said. There is a chant for which is supposed to be chanted when a person is leaving his body. So, now, some places it's still chanted. Unfortunately, the poor guy who is leaving doesn't know what is being said because it is in Sanskrit. I'm trying hard on both sides. One is to translate it into an understandable language for the guy who is leaving. And two, to also try and encourage the study of Sanskrit. It's a good language. You don't have even to associate it with religion. As a language, it's a beautiful language, and you can define anything. In fact, when we do the Upanishads, I find that when I'm translating one single word from the Upanishad, it takes many words to present it. Because it's all done in one word contains so much. It's rather difficult to translate into English. But anyway, we are all English, so. Today, in this retreat, what are we going to do? Because we had 3 Upanishadic retreats, 2 or 3? 2 Upanishad retreats and 2 Kriya retreats. This is the last Kriya retreat. So, I want to know first how many people are new and how many have already been here. If you're new, when you come for the first time, put up your hands, please. There are many, which is encouraging, of course, because otherwise you see the same faces. I don't mind, I'm just saying, again and again. Good. So, I started with a mantra, right? So, I'm going to explain that mantra to you. We have about 45 minutes. I'm trying to explain this mantra because that's what we are going to do in this retreat. The mantra is Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Vavatu. Many people I know from India, and also some people not from India, know the mantra. I'm not denying that. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Vavatu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai. It's all chanted when satsangs are held, when pravachanas are held. Although, there's a tricky statement in one of the Upanishads, which of course is the Kathopanishad. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya. That Atman cannot be attained through pravachanas. So all this 2.5 days is going to be waste. But you're also doing Kriya, so let's see. So, the first sentence, Sahana Vavatu. You might have noticed that there is one word that occurs in 3 lines. Saha, Saha, Saha. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Vavatu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Now this Saha indicates the importance of both the student and the teacher. I could have said teacher and the student, but I'm deliberately using the word the student and the teacher, which went from the mantra. It sounds as if both are important, the student and the teacher. It's not something that I'm going to put into your heads. It's something that needs to come out from yourself. All I'm trying to do is move a few conditionings. This is the Upanishad. So, Sahana Vavatu, may you and I be nourished. Be protected. Vavatu. Om Sahana, let's leave Om for the time being. Tomorrow in the retreat, it will come somewhere. Om Sahana Vavatu, may you and I, Saha, together, be protected. Now, protected from what? Protected first from nature's vagaries of nature. Like, I think now you're safe, you're protected physically, you're protected. There are no wasps or bees around, no scorpions or snakes, and there's no hurricane coming up. Right? As any weather report? No. Texas is famous, suddenly. So we are protected physically. But that is not enough. What about the mind, which needs protection? The mind needs protection due to many reasons. One of them, actually if you look at it, it's very simple. You'll understand this. The whole of society today, 70 to 80%, is built up by the media. And we think we make choices, but we can't. We make choices because of the subconscious systems that have been put into our brain by all this media manipulation. That's where we stand. So, if I say, may we be protected from misinformation, wrong information, ideas that are put into your head so that you don't think clearly. That includes YouTube, also include M's YouTube, please. One of the biggest problems is that many people see the YouTube podcasts and come. So you formed an image about me already. So the communication is between you and the image you have formed, not between you and me. Look at it carefully. This is all that the Upanishads teach, Vedanta teaches. Eliminate so that you're left with the truth. Which means eliminate the untruth, because truth cannot be grasped. When untruth is eliminated, what remains, which can never be eliminated, is the truth. So anyway, so may you and I also be protected from misguidance, misleading, propaganda and things like that. Wrong systems, wrong beliefs. May we also be protected from the disturbances caused to the mind through the thoughts of hundreds of people who live around us and who think in a particular way. Mostly society is profit-oriented. Anything that doesn't give profit is frowned upon. So maybe be protected from such ideas which cloud our clear thinking. Because when a pure scientist is experimenting and exploring and trying to find out, he has no idea about profit. He wants to find the truth. So maybe be protected. Maybe also be protected from the mind that keeps wandering. Maybe be protected so that the mind remains confined to the subject you're involved in and not move here and there. Then, Sahana Vavatu. May you and I be nourished. Nourished, first physically nourished. If you don't eat food for 6 days, can you think? Your brain goes to sleep, you cannot think. So you need nutritious food, proper food, limited food, not unlimited food, and proper nourishment, right nutrients, and so on. This is called nourishment, physical nourishment, and good air to breathe, which in great cities has become a little rare. I hope the electric car may change it, I don't know. In India, you know how a city is, in the middle of a city. What do you breathe in? Diesel fumes and petrol fumes. So, a place where there is a lot of trees, where the air is pure, is a wonderful place to live, teach, learn, and understand. Because without enough nutrition, nourishment for the brain, both food as well as, it becomes difficult even to think clearly. Forget about calming the mind. In the midst of all this, where will the mind become calm? So such areas are good. That's why we are somewhere in a remote place. I know it's difficult to come and so on, but nice. So may we be nourished. Saha Viryam, sorry, I have some lozenges in me. Saha Viryam Karavavai. May the vitality in you and me increase, expand, become more. Now, when you say vitality, you know what? Many people think that after we finish everything, all our work is done, and there's no fuel left anymore in the engine, we can do the spiritual journey. And what the Upanishads seem to say, that there are young people who go to seek before their fuel is exhausted. When you say fuel, life energies. So may the life energies, virya, in you and in me grow. Saha viryam karavavahai. Maybe the younger ones need less virya, they already have. People like me at 75 may be needing more virya. But then from youth I have protected my virya, so I think it's there. Anyway. And then ma vidvishavahai. Maybe not fight with each other. Which means you're studying the Upanishad, you're studying ways to free yourself. You need to look at the problem and try to solve it. So it needs a dialogue. Samvada. Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvada. The talk, the discussion should be a dialogue, and not that I am trying to force my ideas on you and you are forcing your ideas on me. We cannot meet. Always fiction, that is called an argument. A dialogue is where you and I are sitting together and saying, let's find out. And for the time being, let's treat each other as equal. Let's figure out what is this thing. Because if I sit high up there and swing my legs and you crawl on the floor, it's not going to work. You and I should sit on the same platform, just a little higher. Otherwise, the last row can't see me. So, this is the mantra. Don't you think it's a wonderful starting point for any journey or any exploration into deeper matters? And how old do you think this mantra is? 2,000 years old? So let the rishis think about it at that time. Where did they get this understanding from? How did it come to them? Something we are discussing nowadays. This is also something we are going to explore as we go on. Now we come to the reason why we want to practice something, including Kriya. There's a young friend of mine who decided to meditate in India and came back in 6 months. Good man, very serious. So, what did I say? No, not about the young man. Don't embarrass him. So, the Kriya, because I'm sure many of you want to learn Kriya. Before I forget, somebody sent me some momos in the evening with the tea. Nice Nepalese momos. I don't know who sent it. Thank you very much. Who did that? Who made the momos? Huh? Yeah, okay. Thank you. Pradhan. So, yeah. Sometimes when certain things happen, my brain becomes like mine. Mostly buzzes, which is fun. So, yeah. So many of you must have come for Kriya for the first time. I also have many people who have taken Kriya long ago and practiced only on that day, and so on. Many, some may be sincere, I'm sure. So, what is the meaning of Kriya and why do we do Kriya? Now here I have to explain something to you. The most standard textbook which all people interested in the Yoga Darshana, in the teachings of yoga philosophy, follow is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. I want to take you there. I'm not doing the whole Yoga Sutras, of course, but the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, there are many other yoga teachings. In our Sampradaya, Nath Sampradaya, we have many yoga texts. I'm talking about Patanjali's commentaries on Yoga Sutras. It's divided into 4 parts. The first part is called the Sadhana Pada, which means the first part is called Samadhi Pada, which means the section on Samadhi. The second one is called Sadhana Pada, which means the section on practice. And the third is called the Vibhuti Pada, which means the section on the capacities developed by the yogi by the practice. And the last section is called the Kaivalya Pada, where the yogi attains freedom. Kaivalya, release. Release from, if you want to put it in one word, limitations. So, this is the system. Now, Patanjali must have taught very well to divide this into 4 sections and to decide what should be the first chapter. So the first chapter is certainly not practice, sadhana. If one begins a practice, now Kriya also can be included in practice, without having an idea, a map of where we are going, either it becomes ineffective or ends up in disaster. You don't know where you're going. It's like you learn how to fly an aircraft, and without too many hours of training, you try to land near the river. I mean, it's difficult. You should know the terrain. You should know where you're landing, what is required, how long the runway has to be, and so on and so forth. And where are you heading? Are you simply practicing? Where are you heading? So Patanjali wisely made the first chapter Samadhi Pada. Now Samadhi is something described in the Yoga Sutras, but it comes at the end. So Samadhi means an altered state of consciousness. There are many kinds of Samadhi. Let's not go into that. Basically it means Samadhi, settling down of thought process. It's only when you understand Samadhi, or what it means, or what is the state that you seek, at least roughly, theoretically, hypothetically, then you start the practice. If you practice without knowing what happens, because people get so enthusiastic, they read something here, read something there, and start. There is no God, there is no proper, nothing. And then you don't know where you're going, and then you see some blue light and you think, I have reached moksha. So, Kaivalya in yogic terms. So one has to look at it carefully. What is Samadhi? Where are we going? That is the first chapter. So therefore, we have 2 days for this Kriya retreat. Tomorrow and day after, full day. Tomorrow the whole day, please don't worry, you will get your Kriya. You don't get impatient. Oh, this guy is not... No, you will get your Kriya because it was called the Kriya retreat. So you're not... So, yes, but be patient because it's for your own good that tomorrow the whole day I will be dealing with something related to the Samadhi Pada. Where are we going? What is it that we are seeking? And I might go much further and earlier than the Yoga Sutras, which is the Upanishads and so on. Because then you have a grounding of where we are going. You have an understanding. Okay. Now comes the second chapter, which Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras calls the Sadhana Pada. Now, popularly, Patanjali's yoga, what he's teaching, is known as Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, fine. Nowhere in the text does Patanjali call it Ashtanga Yoga. Why is it called Ashtanga Yoga? Because it has 8 angas, 8 parts, starting with Yama, Niyama, rules and regulations, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. 8. Now, actually, it is not Ashtanga. Strictly speaking, it is Saptanga, 7, because 8 is not a process, it's a culmination. But anyway, it's been divided into 8 parts, so it's called Ashtanga Yoga. What does Patanjali call it himself? He calls it Kriya Yoga. But if anybody has read the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, go to Sadhana Pada, the practice section, Adhyaya. And what does it say? Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani, Kriya Yoga. Of course, it has been popularized as Ashtanga Yoga in many parts of the world, which is good. It's wonderful. I'm only giving you a technical definition for that word. Ashtanga, because it has 8 angas. Patanjali calls it Kriya Yoga. So then what is Kriya? So the Kriya must therefore consist of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. So you will learn in Kriya these things. One cannot say that I will not do any Yama, Niyamas. Because Kriya is part of yoga. I will simply jump into Samadhi is not possible. Now, jumping into Samadhi is possible with chemical intervention. But they are lower forms of Samadhi, and you will always then wake up and it will be worse than before. Because you can also get the spirit in bottles instead of here. right? So somebody says, I knew a friend of mine, I won't name anybody, who on Sundays used to have a small gathering in his house. So his wife was very upset about all this because the gathering mostly consisted of women. That may be the reason she was upset. Anyway, so one day I asked her, so where is your husband? On the phone. She said, it's a Sunday, so he's there. So what is he doing? No, all the bhaktas have come, all the ladies have gathered, gopikas. I said, what? They were all gathered. And where is he? Oh, he's just gone inside. He will have his beer and then he will come out as the Brahman, she said. So on Sundays you can become the Brahman with a beer, but that is not the reality. So Yama Niyamas have to be followed, rules and regulations. Personally, I'm not against somebody having a glass of beer. This is not what I'm saying. At least it's vegetarian, no animals are killed and so on, but you know what I mean. So, therefore, Kriya Yoga. I'm also going to, in the second day, we will have mostly Kriya. Tomorrow, the last part of it, I'll explain to you how any practice, yogic practice, is linked to that which is beyond the capacity of even the mind to grasp. So is there a training required for that? So the mind develops the capacity to free itself from all the obstacles and be ready to receive. That practice, starting with Yama, Niyamas and so on, is Kriya. Now, if you simply define the word Kriya, it means practice, technique. Kriya means technique. So therefore, in the Yoga Shastra, there are many Kriyas, not as if this is the only Kriya which you're going to take. When I say Kriya, I'm talking about that particular technique which has come down to me from Mahavatar Babaji or Sri Guru Babaji through Maheshwarnath Babaji. This is the Kriya I'm talking about. And please, may I from the beginning make it clear to you that there is some propaganda going on for years that Kriya is the jet plane path to there is no jet plane path. There are no shortcuts to truth. There are no techniques where you switch on and you get, this is not possible. And every human being moves at his or her own pace. Nobody can move at the same pace. And if somebody is giving you a technique which says, this is the shortcut, in 6 months you will attain Samadhi, I think you should try it and then see how it goes and then come back. Better. Because if I say it might sound prejudicial. So, therefore what you're going to learn are certain age-old techniques which modified a bit by Sri Guru Babaji and given to the world, because today it's not possible for most people to go into intense tapasya and so on. Okay. The other thing I want to tell you is this. When anyone went to my Guru Maheshwarnath Babaji and asked him for Kriya, he would ask, why? Kyun? They say, oh, we want to attain, somebody would say Bhagavad Darshan, somebody would say, I want to attain the ultimate and so on and so forth. So he had two stock questions. One, he would ask, what Kriya did Mirabai practice? Now, Mirabai was a great devotee known in India, who was a Maharani, who was a queen, who was devoted to Krishna. She considered Krishna to be the divine, and it is said that she attained it. She had the darshan of Krishna. So you used to ask, what Kriya did Mirabai practice? None that we know of. Okay? Then you go to the Vedantic side and ask, what Kriya did Ramana Maharshi practice? So, why I'm saying this? That it is the attitude of mind and how you look into the matter that is important, and not just the practice of Kriya. Well, he taught me Kriya and he told me to teach Kriya, which is what I'm doing. And that's interesting. When I was with Babaji last year, when I was about to leave him, I was not about to leave him, he said, get out. So, he told me that you will have to teach Kriya. And then he gave me a list of 22 qualifications for teaching Kriya Yoga. I heard them all, then I put up my hands. Babaji, please find somebody else. I can't find a person like this, you're saying 22 qualifications, not possible. He said, even I may not have all of them. And you're asking me to go and teach? I don't think I can do it. Please find somebody else. Plus, why do you want me to go and teach? Why can't I stay with you here in the Himalayas? So beautiful and nice. No particular agenda, nothing. You walk from place to place. When you walk from place to place, you don't have to worry where the next fuel tank pump is, right? Nothing. And beautiful river, Ganga flowing. Why are you asking? And if you look up, there is the Himalayas. Why are you asking me to go down to the... And he also said something else which I was really horrified. Get married, settle down. I said, Babaji, why are you doing this to me? Why are you treating me like an enemy? So he said to me, okay, remember 2 years, the second year you were with me, and I asked you, what do you think of yourself? All in Hindi, okay? And what did you say? I said, Babaji, I said, I'm your puppy dog. I sit down and look at you and you talk, and in fact he knows, because in India we used to have this HMV, his master's voice. There was a gramophone, big brass gramophone. There's a dog sitting like this, looking at it. So in fact, when we were in school, there was a quiz. Is that a boy or a girl, the dog? So, because somebody figured out that it is a boy. I mean, why? Because it is his master's voice. Anyway, so, yeah, so I said, yes, I told you I'm your dog. I go wherever you go. Then, what did I say? I thought about, then I remembered. I said, you said, you may be my puppy dog, but don't wag your tail too much. Did I say that? I said, yes, Babaji, you said that. Then go off and teach. I'm telling you something, don't wag your tail too much. Do it. So I agreed. Seriously, I have no interest. And I feel sometimes people come to you, they are very serious, and then you feel, okay, let's impart something. So not only that, these 22 points were cut down for my sake, so that I can go out and teach, and there are only 4, now 3, 4. So here I am. So, don't ever become a teacher. It's the most horrible, I'm telling you. Because sometimes you're so concerned, you're trying to say something and the guy is saying something else and interpreting in their own way. It's not easy, believe me. And then you have accepted the person after giving Kriya, and you can't say, no, you go, I can't do anything with you. You can't do that. You said, yes, okay, I'm here. So, no, why did I say all this? Any reason why I said? Huh? Believe me, when you do Kriya, I'll go in proper order, don't worry. Don't get scattered. It gets scattered. Okay. Here are the simple qualifications. 1, stick to the truth as much as you can. Because if you lead a false life, and if you speak lies 24 hours, 24/7, how are you going to look for the truth, which is absolute truth? It's a contradiction. You can't. Of course, I understand if you're a lawyer or a politician, okay, agreed, that's your profession, go tell your lies. But we are not, thankfully. So, what are we doing? Now, so try and stick to the truth as much as you can. I know it is difficult. So when you come to circumstances where you cannot speak the truth, shut up. Just keep quiet. Just keep quiet. One. Second, well, there are two circumstances under which you may utter a lie if your life is in danger and somebody else's life is in danger. It could even be an animal. Otherwise, try your best. This telling lies is a very debilitating psychological structure. You know why? I told a lie many years ago. Now, to protect that lie, I have told many more lies. It becomes a big gathering of lies. And there is this constant fear that the first lie that I said might be discovered. Then the whole thing is collapsing, right? So be free. Why not? Maybe somebody give you a shot if you tell, it's okay. But you're free. You're not dependent on anybody. You can say the truth. Try your best. Don't go home immediately and tell your wife or husband who has not come, what stupid man are you? You didn't come for... Keep quiet. And then they'll come back to me because Sri M has taught you all this. Now, the other is try not to cause injury to other living beings as much as you can. Unless, suppose you're taking a medicine and it contains something which is source is animal source, don't get so silly and say, I don't want it. I know many people, I personally don't believe in homeopathy. But I know many people who don't take homeopathy because it's dipped in alcohol, which is so silly. So, moderation is the key. Moderation is the key. Always follow moderation. Neither too much, nor too little. And this is the standard for Yama Niyamas to follow. Krishna says in the Gita beautifully to Arjuna, saying, this yoga is not for him who eats too much, or eats too little, or sleeps too much, or sleeps too little. Beautifully put. Try and follow that as much as you can as we move. But don't expect all the Yama Niyamas to become perfect before you... This is not possible. We are imperfect human beings, so we need to try our best and move forward. Probably as the mind calms down and you reach closer to your goal, all these things will fall into place. So don't say, no, I'm not practicing till I make all the... This is not going to work. We are all in different stages of development, and our development also can happen at different speeds. It may not be the same speed. That's the third thing you need to keep in mind, that you don't envy your friend who seems to be going faster than you. Important. Now, last of all, there are many, but I'm trying to... don't think that you are superior to some others who have not taken Kriya. Please remember that they might have also been spiritually advanced. It's not because they haven't taken this Kriya. So I'm a Kriyavan. Okay, put your head down a bit. And what you discover in Kriya, that in every human being, in the core of everyone's consciousness, there is a divine being. That's what you discover. If that is so, We're all the same. Swami, is that time? Swami Vivekananda, once, while he was speaking, said that I am a socialist. Everybody said, what? How can you be a socialist? You're a Vedantin. He said, okay, let me explain this. He said, all the economic theories of socialism have fallen flat. There's no question. Okay, then why are you saying this? He said, because first he said, half a loaf is better than none. And then he said, well, I understand, it's my experience, not just my belief, that in every human heart, there is a spark of the divine. Whether the person knows it or does not know, I know it. And therefore, if there is a spark of the divine in every human heart, then we are all equal. In fact, we are walking, speaking temples of God. Other temples can be built, broken, destroyed. This, it moves. When you are here, it is here. When you are there, it is there. It's the most important temple of God, which is the human body. Therefore, from the yogic Yama Niyama point of view, the greatest breaking of rules is not that you slapped somebody, which is okay, but that you caused mental injury to somebody. This you have to watch out. Sometimes casually we cause it by saying some nonsense, but then always say sorry. Keep your mind clean. This is the most important thing. Plus, daily practice. If you practice in Kriya, you have to practice daily. There is no excuse. Don't think because now you can see some blue color, you have attained everything. Or I see some lights, so I'm spiritually elevated. No. If you are spiritually elevated, the first sign will be that your mind remains quiet and tranquil in the midst of all circumstances, positive or negative. And is experiencing a steady stream of bliss, which doesn't break at all. The Gita, Krishna describes this as sarvatra samabuddhaya. He says, that yogi or that devotee is dear to me. Yaha bhakta same priya. Who? Sarva bhuta hai. No. Sarvatra samabuddhaya. Whose mind is tranquil under all circumstances. 2-3 days it's okay to be very nice, but when we go out and see how we behave with others, what we do, so watch your mind. If your mind is sama, under all circumstances.
With or without effort. With or without effort.
Can you?
With or without effort.
With or without effort.
Huh?
With or without effort.
Effect?
Effort.
Sarvatra, yeah, without, yes, which means it does not agitate your mind under all circumstances. If you are blissful about it, that's okay, but it's very hard. Many people get very upset because somebody else is happy. You know, this jealousy is one of the worst diseases. Everything else I can understand. Now this is funny because you are happy and I am unhappy. Nothing to do, but I am unhappy because this fellow has 3 cars, I have only one. I am very unhappy. This guy has a beautiful wife and... Oh, sorry, we will not go into that subject. So, yes, it's time. From tomorrow morning, right earnest, we are going to study something related to Samadhi Para. I won't take up the slokas and go one by one, but we will understand where we are heading. And then the next day we will go into what to do to prepare ourselves for it. We can only prepare ourselves. We cannot do more than that. But when you are fully prepared and the receiving vessel is clear and empty and pure, then it happens. You cannot force it to happen. So all the divine beings sitting here, we will meet in 15 minutes. Don't you have a spark of the divine in your heart?